Check, check, check. Okay, we are live, and I'm going to give y'all a few more seconds to get in here. Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is How I See It Live. Good morning, good morning. It is Sunday. So, y'all, it is a beautiful sunny Sunday morning here in South Florida. I hope that it is a beautiful day wherever you are. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And please, y'all, do subscribe because I was checking out my analytics the other day, and it's showing me that a lot of my return listeners are actually not subscribed. But I thank y'all for returning though. So please remember to subscribe, and you can always jump into the chat that I call my yard and let me know how you see things too. Replay gang, that goes for you too. Hop in the comment section and let me know how you see things. So y'all, whether you watched the full episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville last night, or you checked out the review from some of the content creators that review the show right after, or if you just looked at the snippets that are on OMFG Reality and another, I think it's Reality Entertainment, another Instagram account that posts clips of the show, y'all should at this point know what happened last night during the episode. When I tell y'all I can't with Destiny, and I've tried to give her grace from the standpoint of being an outsider looking in. At the end of the day, y'all, we don't know these people. We only know how they present themselves on this reality TV show, and we also know how they present themselves on social media and in interviews, right? Happy Sunday, Tia P. Thank you for jumping in the yard. So that's all we know of them, really. And for some of us, uh, our spirit of discernment or ability to read people a lot of the times is spot on, even if it's somebody on reality TV, because they might say, oh, it's reality TV, it's a snippet of our real lives, you can't really know us from reality TV. But the truth is, and this is how I see it, how you respond to things on reality TV is not scripted. What is scripted is a producer telling you, okay, today is Sunday, you have a scene with Tisha. And when you meet up with Tisha, I want you to ask her about the girls' trip. Kimmy, today is Wednesday. You have a scene with Melody. And when y'all meet up, y'all are going to talk about the girls' trip. You're going to talk about your health. And Melody might ask you about Maurice's arrest. That part of it is scripted. But the words that come out of their mouths is not scripted. Their reactions to their cast members when their cast member is asking them a question or telling them something, that's not scripted, right? So, and also what I know of reality TV is that a producer can ask you to do something, they can prompt you to do something, and you can decline. You can absolutely decline. You have a level of autonomy even on reality TV. They cannot force you to ask a question that you don't want to ask. They can't force you to say something that you don't want to say. They can't force you to go to an event if you don't want to go. They can't force you to be unkind to somebody in a scene if that's not who you are naturally or if that's not what you want to do. Okay? And I know this because I know this. All right? So, what I don't understand when it comes to Destiny and her scene with Martell is at this point in time, everybody and their mama and their grandmama knows that Martell has been one, arrested for DV in the third degree, harassing communications. And all of us and our mamas and our grandmamas know that DV in the third degree charge was as a result of him threatening to post private, intimate images or videos of his ex wife. This is not alleged. These are words that came from Martell on Queen Sheba's interview, on Tasha K's interview. He said it on the show in his green screen when the producers asked him. But all of a sudden, he's in a scene with the other members of the cast plus Lance, and he's saying that wasn't why because everybody's slow. Okay. Hi, Pisces Live. Hi, Nanny of the Maroons. Yeah, I haven't been live in a minute. But this episode, child, it had me jumping out of the bushes and on StreamYard. So that's the lie Martell is telling in the scene. That's not what the charge was for. So then that would beg the question, then was there another reason for you to be charged with harassing communications then that we don't know of? Because either way, either way, you're unhinged. Whether it was because of the revenge P threat or another threat, you're unhinged. But, anyways, so at this point in time, everybody knows he's arrested and everybody knows that there was a conviction. So, Destiny, you are meeting up on a park bench and you're talking about Melody to her a beer. And y'all know what that means, hopefully. And for those who don't know, YouTube does not like certain words. So we have to get creative with how we say them, okay? So you're on a park bench and you're talking to Martell about Melody. That's a that's some nasty work, and it's some nasty work coming from somebody who says this. I am your voice, and you're doing infomercials about DV awareness, right? So you're keeping him obsessed with his ex-wife, who has already accused him and reported him for harassing her. All right, cool. So not only does that park bench situation happen, you're in another scene and you are allowing him to lie about his conviction. And then you go into another scene where the only person on the cast that is holding his feet to the fire and is calling him out and is saying, I don't have any respect for a man who would make such threats. And you're going to stand there as Martel says, oh, it's not true. It's not true. And you're going to back him. Well, Marcel, do you want to apologize because he's saying it's not true? Girl, you know it's true. You know it's true. And because you know the situation with Martel and Melody as it is, it's some nasty work to want to invite her to that big dumb energy field day. You wanted to set Melody up, in my opinion, to have a confrontation with her a beer. Miss, I'm your voice. Miss DV awareness promo. Even if the producer said to you, you have to invite Melody, your job as an advocate, supposedly, as an advocate against DV, your job as a voice to the voiceless is to say to those producers, nope, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. And I don't care if people are going to think, I hate Melody or whatever. But the fact is, Martell and Melody, they have a DV situation happening. There's a no contact order in place. And so Martell is my friend at this point. So I want him at my event. Melody and I were not at that place. But because of their DV situation and the no contact order in place, you're not going to have me on camera as an advocate against DV, inviting her to this event. Sorry, not happening. And then you decide that y'all are going to play games, big dumb conversations, because you wanted to create what? A scene where people are talking to those who have hurt them the most in the group. That's a setup. That was a setup for Martell to attack Melody. That was a setup for you to attack Melody. That was a setup for Nell Fletcher to attack Melody. That was a setup for Tisha to attack Melody. That was a setup for Kimmy to attack Melody. But I don't care about the little issues between Mel and Tisha, Mel and Kimmy, Mel and Nell Fletcher. The nasty work comes in when you thought you were going to have Melody come to that event for her and Martell to have what? A discussion about what? And I know the the trick that's in the bag that she's going to pull for. It's going to be, well, the producers told me to. No, producers can tell you, but they can't force you to. Oh, the producers were the ones who came up with the game. They came up with the game, but you were aware that they also wanted you to invite Melody, and you still agreed to extend that invitation, knowing good and well what the situation is, knowing that Martell is unhinged. That's the part that really gets me. You saw that Tasha K interview. You saw it. You saw that man wants to get back at Melody so badly that he's willing to go down to the gutter, including to dox her, put her all her information out there, including her address for where his children has to lay their heads. And he's telling you in interviews that he doesn't care what he has to do. He wants his get back because Melody should not have filed a police report against him. And I'm sure he's talking to you off camera. And you know, at this point in time, he has a deep resentment towards Melody that's only going to escalate to God knows what if they're ever meeting up face to face, especially in that group dynamic. Because when it comes to the group, Martell feels like he has a team against Melody. Same with you, Destiny. When it comes to being around that group, if Melody is present, you feel like you have a team against Melody. And so if Melody had shown up to that event, which we know she wasn't going to because I'm sure Melody said, who all gonna be there? And they said, well, Martell is going to be there. And she was like, hell no. But why are the producers and why is Destiny trying to set up scenes where Melody has to be in the presence of Martell when they know they have a DV situation going on? That's dangerous. There is a no contact order in place at this moment in time where Destiny is meeting up with Kimmy talking about call Melody and invite her. Yeah, everybody's going to be there. We're going to have big, dumb conversations. A setup, a setup for disaster. Because you see, since Melody didn't show up, he had to transfer all his anger towards Marsaw and Tisha. Everything that Marsaw and Tisha got in the scene is what he would have been directing at Melody. Y'all having to stand in between them and trying to get him to calm down is exactly what y'all would have had to be doing had it been Melody. How are you a voice to the voiceless? How are you promoting DV awareness? But you were willing to do that for somewhat kingdom reign change? You were willing to do that for some kingdom reign change, Destiny? That's kind of sad. Like, I know you don't like the woman, but God, That's some nasty work. Because I would look in those producers' faces and I'd say, y'all know that I am an advocate against DV, right? And yeah, I'm cool with Martell and all, but I would never put a woman in a situation where she has to be in the presence of her ABer. There's a no contact order in place. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be the one to invite her. So we're gonna do a scene where they're gonna ask me, am I inviting Melody? And I'm going to say no. And I'm going to state the reason. I don't think it's good for her and Martell to be in the same place right now. And if me and Melody are going to have a conversation, it's not going to be in a group setting. That would be more real, in my opinion. And it would still have an atmosphere of drama. But that's what a real advocate would have done. That's what a real advocate would have done, Destiny. So you're no advocate. And I will continue to say this. I will still not invalidate what you claim is your experience in your marriage to Laberic. No matter what I feel or think about this woman, I've always said I will not invalidate what she claims is her experience in that marriage because I wasn't privy to anything that went on in that marriage. I was not. None of us were. And I leave it at that at all times. I talk about the facts as it relates to her case with him. But when it comes to saying, oh, I don't believe her and I don't think and all of that, I've never said that. But for some reason, this woman who claims to be an advocate, when it comes to Melody, everything that Melody says is a lie. And everything that she says about Melody and everything that Martell says about Melody is the truth. That's crazy to me. But let me read y'all's comments. Um, Nanny of the Marine says, Own and CK should have not left that lie unchecked. Martell is a very dangerous person. Right. Because I said on Instagram and on Twitter last night, I mean, I'm no lawyer. When I went to college, one of the courses that I had to take was introduction to business law, where you just learn the basics of, a tort and contracts and all those things. But I can read. I can read and I can understand certain words in a court document. And the court document from that case says he was convicted. And because of his conviction, a no contact order was put in place and he's on probation. And also, if there is no conviction, what would you be appealing? What would you be appealing? What would the higher courts need to hear? What arguments would they need to hear if you were not convicted of a crime? But the people on that cast, they're never going to really hold him to the fire. Marsau tried it, but Marsau, you kind of backpedaled a little bit. Because when you said, well, I don't have respect for him if it's true. No, you should have stood in, man, I've heard it from your own mouth. You said that that's what you did and that's what you were arrested for. So I don't have any respect for you. That's what you should have done, Marcel. But I'll still give you two taps for saying you don't believe him because he was lying. Good morning, Miss Linda Gamble. How are you? Get a clue says, how in the hell is Dusty a DV survivor, yet she is very comfortable being shepherd for it? Listen, that's another thing I don't understand. She's the same one who said that Leberic and Martel are similar. They're similar. If that's the case, Martel should trigger her. She should want to be so far from Martel. She should be annoyed by everything he has to say. She should be disgusted every time he says something about his ex-wife that sounds derogatory or negative. But no, she upholds it, in my opinion. And that's dangerous, Nanny of the Maroons. Yes, Destiny typing Martel up in his obsession with Mel, and that's very dangerous. It is. It is dangerous. Because she's one of the people who's making Martel feel like his actions are okay. At least that's how it presents on camera. Even when she sat in that interview with Dustin Ross and said, it's funny that both of our exes got us arrested. And it has me thinking Melody and Leberick are in cahoots to get us arrested. That was her making Martel feel like his actions are acceptable. Because to question why he got arrested, why there is a warrant put out for his arrest, that's some nasty work coming from a woman who says, I'm a DV survivor. But let's continue. See Dusty back Martell at that event because her dumb peaches realized too late that she was helping him to break that no contact order. Exactly. And I don't think that it was her, feeling like it was too late at that point in time. I think that she was willing to put Melody in danger. That's my opinion. There is nobody who watches Love and Marriage Huntsville who feels like Martell is mentally stable enough to have a grown discussion with Melody and it not get heated to the point of almost violence. We saw it in Vegas. Did we not, y'all? Did we not see him charge at her in Las Vegas and those men having to hold him back and take him outside? There's no way you were present for something like that in real time, Destiny. And you feel like at a point where he's been arrested and now convicted, it would be healthy or even safe for Melody to be in his presence. You're dangerous. And that's my opinion based on what I saw on the TV last night. Because I see you running about talking about suing people. Well, Martell just said that you were dating Lance in the episode. And given the timeline, Lance had a baby on the way. So I don't know what's defamatory about people pointing that out. That baby is fresh out the oven. Fresh out the oven. So that means that while you were pretending to date him, really trying to date him, or anything in between, having fun with him, his wife was expecting. Now, I can't imagine as a woman being home pregnant, probably going through something in my marriage, only to see my husband all over social media up on some other woman who's talking about some girl code this and girl code that. I'm just saying. So if Nell Fletcher says that you and her son were having fun, you even said in the on the girls trip when you and Sunny were going at it, like, yeah, I got a man and he's fine. Okay. The following day, it was confirmed that that fine man that you were talking about was Lance. We've seen y'all all about the place on social media looking cozy. And then Martell confirms in the scene and in his confessional that y'all were seeing each other. And now it's Thanksgiving weekend, and he got a fresh out the coochie baby. And you want to go around talking about you're threatening to sue people for using their observational skills and speculating. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Hi, genealogy to the root. Morning. I'm glad Marcel said to Martel's face that he's not retracting anything because Martel is a known liar. And I think at this point, too, Nanny of the Maroons, that any evidence that Martel has when it comes to Marcel is so old that it doesn't matter now. Because if we're talking things from 20 2015, 2016, 2017, 18, or 19, it's at this point, nobody cares. It would be nice for Tisha to be bold enough and strong enough to say, yes, we have struggled with infidelity, but we are one of the couples that were able to overcome that, and now we're in a better place. Because it happens. It happens. Some people, they can never get past it. And some men, they don't change, like Martell. And that's why he ended up losing his entire family and his entire empire over some sloppy slaw who can't elevate him past where Mel left him. And then you have couples who get to an understanding. And she don't ever have to admit that, but it would be nice if you can just be real and be like, listen, a few years ago, yeah, it happened, but we got past it. And we were not willing at that point to speak on it. But now we are. Yes, this happened, that happened. He did this, I did that. But now we're stronger. I think that's all people want from Tisha. She looks at it as people are trying to destroy her marriage or break up her marriage, but I just feel like people don't like when people can't just keep it real. You're never going to convince me that who Marcel presents himself to be on the show and on social media, him hanging around on Guy's Trip with Martell, where there's a whole side chick there, you're never going to convince me that he wasn't tapping on something here and there and that you never found out about it. Never going to convince me of that. But I honestly feel like any evidence that Martell has right now are just so old that honestly, if I was Tisha, I wouldn't care either. Like, if you can't bring me some evidence from last year or this year, or maybe even 2 years ago, then it's null and void. And I think that's why they called his bluff. Like, show it, show the evidence. Because if it's something from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when we were all cool and hanging out or whatever, it's like, man, bye. And so that's why I think they called his bluff. Like, I feel like at this point in time, if he pulls out those receipts from 2019 and so on, they're willing to address it and move on, if that makes sense. If Mel went to the event and was in the space of her ABR, this show would be an hostile environment of this production company. They knew at this time that no contact order was in place, right? They should not have asked Destiny to invite her, and Destiny should not have agreed. That's why the expansion of the no contact order includes indirect contact, because using third parties is an indirect way for him to continue harassing her. I'll press charges against Dusty. I'm gonna look if that's even possible. If that's even possible, but I know that harassment via third party is illegal, especially when a no contact order is in place. Y'all notice, hi Sheila, y'all notice Dusty using the same pose as Martell did after. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Wait, let me get back to the I might have to go back and look, Miss Sheila. Sorry, I had the mute on. All of the folks who participated at that event with that man is disgusting. It shows their character. Nell and Chris Fletcher still being friends with that man shows who they are. I wonder where they stand now. Now that it's been reported that he's still harassing Mel, he's still, in my opinion, stalking her. I wonder where they stand. Because how I see it, y'all, when real ish like this is happening to somebody, this is where you need to take a stand. Forget feeling like, oh, it's, things are, it's just them having another petty argument or whatever. Nah, this has gotten to it being a legal matter. Actually, from the moment he dragged Melody into family court, trying to take full custody of her kids, all them people should have lost respect for him and dropped him as a friend. That's for one. Because I would look at him like, Martha, are you okay? You know she's a great mother. You know, and I love saying good and darn y'all because I can't curse. You know good and god darn well that she don't have no 20 babysitters, and that anybody who is watching your children are qualified to do so and are going to take care of your kids as if they were their own. Why are you putting her through custody, a child custody case? Why are you dragging your children through the family courts? I'm done with you. That's what they should have been saying then. But now it gets to a point where he's threatening revenge P, and there's proof of this, and y'all are still friends with him. He's convicted, and y'all are still friends with him. Talking about y'all are neutral. He's still harassing her, and y'all are still neutral. Man, the Fletchers, y'all aren't good people, in my opinion. Kimmy calling her was indirect contact and harassment. I would contact the nurse board on her. When you play stupid games, Yeah, and Kimmy should have, and I agree. Get a clue with the with an aspect of what you said. Kimmy knowing at this point in time that there's a no contact order in place to protect Melody from Martell should have said to Destiny, you said that everybody's invited. Well, if Martell is invited, I'm sorry, I'm not calling Melody to invite her anywhere because you do know that a part of his conviction is that he cannot have any contact with Melody, right? Kimmy, that's what you should have been saying. Now, I'm going to give you grace that maybe in that moment you weren't thinking about all of that. But baby, when it comes to DV situation, you got to keep certain things at the forefront of your mind so as not to put people in danger. Lisa, it's chilly and sunny in Orlando. It's kind of chilly here too this morning. Um, in South Florida, they all know about the no contact order. They do. This this is why this scene was just so crazy for me. I was like, what is going on? Kingdom Reign, what is going on? Why would y'all even think Melody would show up? Why are you asking people to invite her to anything that has Martell present? He was upset that she didn't show because the way Destiny planned it, in my opinion, was for Martell and Melody to be going at it at this big dummy energy field day. And is Juanita, she is. If Melody would have attended that event, she could have brought everyone on that cast up in court as being third party harasser. And Kingdom Reign Entertainment too. Why are you trying to put me in proximity to my a beer? Destiny and Kimmy both are clear examples of how male identified women will always be a threat to none. Thank you. Ooh, you put that so perfectly. You put that so perfectly. Know how to start that comment. Is there a way that I can pin this comment in the comment section after the live ends? I need to learn those things. I will never be cool enough with anyone to participate in them harassing someone else. That part. The and I keep saying to people on Twitter, especially because y'all, that's where Melody gets the most hate. Okay, over on Twitter. But I keep saying that for all the people over there on Twitter that dislike Melody, I can still rock with the ones who say, listen, I don't care how much I don't see it for her. I'm never, ever, ever going to take Martell's side. I can see it for those people. Because it's one thing to feel some type of way about the friendships on the cast. But it's another thing to see a real life legal DV situation happening and your stance is, oh, I don't like Melody, so I'm Team Martell. That's crazy. And that's what Destiny gives. I don't like Melody, so I'm Team Martell in his foolishness and in his illegal antics. These women are everywhere. Hell, Kimmy is, yeah, I don't really know how that works, the HIPAA laws work when it comes to like this dynamic, but it's something that I could go and research. Y'all know I love to do a good research. That whole cast is doing a scene with Martell. They could all come together for that check. A scene to ambush Melody. It was very telling. Yeah, you're right, Sonny. And also it's the fact that everybody else was quiet. The only person who was bold enough to say something about his conviction was Marsaw. I'm mad that Martell got me going up just a tiny bit for Marsaw. I'm mad that I even have to give Marsaw two taps. Like, with my two fingers. Bravo, Marcel. The only person on the cast in that moment that called Martel out for his lies, who was bold enough to say, I don't got no respect for you. Spray my tea. I still don't have any respect for you. So spray whatever receipts you have. I still have no respect for you. The only person who was brave enough to say that was Marcel, not Nell Fletcher, not Chris Fletcher, none of the women sitting there as women to say, if my husband and I ever get to a point where we break up and he threatens to release any of our intimate videos or pictures, yeah, I'll do the same thing that Melody did. And I'm running down to the police station to file a report. Not one of those women could say that. And none of the men, the other men on the show, could stand with Marcel in saying, yeah, we don't respect any man that would make such threats. Kudos to Marcel for being the only one. She is Juanita always. Everything Melody says is a lie. Everything. Everything Melody says and does is a lie. Melody isn't living in her truth. Melody this, Melody that. But everything she says about Melody is true. When Kimmy brought up how Mel says, Destiny was taking digs at her in interviews, and she's like, well, um I was telling the truth. No, you told several lies, spanning all the interviews that you did. First one, Dustin Ross. You claimed that Melody and LeBeric were in cahoots to get you and Martell arrested. You claimed that Melody and LeBeric were having an inappropriate relationship, only for Dustin to back you in a corner and for us to find out that Melody was just at the restaurant buying some brisket with her kids and you heard her voice. And if Dustin didn't back you in that corner, you'd have left it up in the air for people to feel like Melody was at LeBeric's house and they were in a relationship. And you continue to say she's not living her truth. She's not living in her truth. She was never a good friend. This, that, and the third. Then you go to Dr. Heavenly and it's, oh, she needs to talk about how she had to use my credit card, leaving out every single part of accurate context when you talk about that. And Melody had to come out and finally blast you for the lies that you tell. And then in another interview, you talk about how you told Melody about your, I guess, DV situation with LeBeric, and Melody said in like a live or an interview that she heard the other side and she's taken the side of the other party. That's a lie. So those were all just a few of the digs that you were taking that were absolute lies. But Destiny is another one that suffers from the, oh, I'm too real. If you gotta always tell people that you're real, I can't with the fake, I'm real, then 9 out of 10 times maybe you're not that real. 9 out of 10 times you're the fakest of them all. I think she's trying to let us believe that LB um aided her financially when it was her fault to not having her own money at almost 40 years old. And I don't, and honestly, none of the Marines, we don't even know the depths of of that situation, because she hasn't really said much. She's alluded to certain things, but not much at all. And my thing is, again, I don't want to invalidate her experience, but is it financial AB if, and this is me genuinely asking a question, and I'll go do my own research too, but is it financial AB if somebody is trying to protect their assets from somebody who they see is mismanaging funds? You're trying to pour in all this money into Madani that you don't really have, in my opinion, and probably not trying to take any sound advice. So if you're asking for cash to do things that is just basically a waste of money, and the person is saying, and I'm not talking about Destiny and Liberty in particular, but if you're married to somebody and they are the money in the relationship, and you are just spending, and they get to a point where they're like, okay, no, I'm not giving you any more to do this, I'm not giving you any more to do that, then is that financial AB, or is it the person protecting their assets at that point in time? I'm just wondering. When one is married, and if your spouse has agreed to be the sole financial provider and you agree to that setup, even if you do have the potential education to earn your own money, it's AB. Okay. Hey, Glam, welcome to the Glam Squad. Oh, and Glam, if you're still in here, drop your foundation's cash app. If y'all don't know, Glam has a foundation where she gives back to children in need for Christmas. Um I don't know how much I can say, Glam, but I'll say this. She has a foundation where she buys bicycles for children in need during Christmas. So if you guys want to donate, hopefully Glam, you're still in here and you can drop the cash app for your foundation so that those who want to donate can. Every little bit helps, y'all. Every little bit helps. And if you want to know the story behind Glam's Foundation, you can go to her YouTube, her community wall. And I think a little story is there, or you can also go to her Instagram. Again, I don't know how much Glam wants me to say, but I just say, that much. Okay. A broader conversation on this topic of DV would be to examine the part that third parties, namely other women, choose to play in these acts of violence. I would love to catch this thing. And you know what? These are the things I wish that her and Dion would talk about instead of being so hyper focused on Melody all the time. I hope that on Messy Mental Health Mondays, Dion asked Destiny why she thought it would be okay to invite Melody to an event where Martell is going to be in attendance as well, knowing that there is a no contact order in place. But if I know Dion, if I know that lady based on how she presents herself on YouTube, she's not going to ask Destiny that question. She's going to make everything Melody's fault. Just watch and see. I would literally make her look more foolish and do an open hub for Melody to. I'm gonna be over there on Messy Mental Health Mondays to see what the conversation is going to look and sound like, because I can bet y'all anything it's gonna be, you know, Melody didn't show up because she didn't want to come face to face with the people she has an issue with. I'm a wait and see. Oh my God, said Nelly's not a nice person. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. Hi, Miss Black Titanic. How are you? He said Lance's wife is beautiful and comes from a good family. Child, Destiny does not want to be associated with the coleslaw brigade because that's what it's given. That's what it's given. I don't know. That man was out there having fun, it seems, while his wife was pregnant. And it seems that Destiny was a part of the fun he was out there having. And now she wants to distance herself. Nah. Mm-mm. Be as loud as you were when you were making it seem like you were dating this man. Because that's what it seemed like. I understand what you are saying with the financial AB, but she stayed in the house and she got half of the money from the sales. But now she's trying to say he left her high and dry. Child, I don't know. And see, this is why I try to stay away from her story when it comes to her and LB because I don't know. Which is what she should be doing when it comes to Martell and Melody's situation. Girl, shut your mouth. Because you don't know. The only thing you know is what Martell has been feeding you for the 3 years that you and Melody weren't are not friends. That's all you know about that situation. And Destiny, in my opinion, is hell bent on believing Martell's version of the story because Melody, she's painted Melody as this villain in her story. So now she has to align with anybody and everybody who feels like Melody's the villain in my story too. Let's be friends. But as a victim of DV, Destiny, Martell should trigger you so much that you would not call him friend. You would not call him brother. You'd want to distance yourself from him because of his behavior. Tisha won't care about any proof. She's not going anywhere. That's why Hotel is mad. Marcel still has his family. He has the nerve to say he's wrong for Revenge P when they cheated together, right? Like let's be for real. Okay, Marcel may have cheated, but he's not out here threatening Revenge P on anybody. He's not out here harassing anybody. He's not out here dragging the mother of his children through family court. I mean, should we continue to weigh everything that's going on? Because the truth is, if Martell was really out here listening to Maurice and Marsaw and saying, "Oh, I have friends who they're messing around. I can do it too," then that's his dumb fault. Because perhaps Marcel allegedly had 20 women because he wasn't trying to have a whole mistress. A mistress is literally a second wife. Literally, that's what a mistress is. Almost like a second wife. And isn't that what Martel said? He said, I had a wife and a woman. Okay. But maybe them other men decided, listen, I'm just going to have fun with this chick if I'm in Atlanta for the weekend and call it a day and never call her again. And when I go back to Atlanta, I find another chick who's willing, have my fun and call it a day. Maybe that's what they were doing. They weren't trying to have relationships and emotional bonds as deep as the one Martell went out there and created with Cole Slappy Slaw. I'm just saying. So now he's mad because he went out there and had a whole other relationship. And these men who he claims was messing around still have their wives. That's your fault, Martell. My grandmother used to say, what goes for the goose does not go for the gander. Hey D, Marcel could cheat in front of my face right now. I wouldn't care. Right? I would not care. Like at this point in time, that story is just so like it's been what, 8 seasons? 8 seasons, no solid proof outside of what we feel. Like, I really don't care about whether Marcel and Maurice have cheated. I really don't. Do we want confirmation just to say, haha, told you so? I mean, maybe, but honestly, I don't care. I honestly don't care anymore. DV awareness on old network nor Kingdom Reign is never broadcast protection. And that's another thing. Thank you for that, Miss Black Titanic. They're showing where he was convicted. They're talking about his conviction, but there is no PSA at the end of the episode to say if you are someone you know is dealing with any level of DV, these are the numbers that you should call. These are the websites that you should check out. That's crazy to me. In the same way, at the start of the season, when they were talking about the arrest, they had no PSAs up to say in the United States, it is illegal to threaten to release revenge P. It is illegal. The threat alone is illegal. But maybe that's Kingdom Reigns Entertainment fault because they're the ones that edit the show. But own, does your executives not watch the episode before it airs to say, listen, I need y'all to go back to the cutting room floor and add that DV disclaimer in there or DV PSA? That raggedy marriage is the only thing Tisha has that she think has her one up on Mel. She's got nothing else, not even close to it. And I don't think that's even a one up on. I think Melody looks at that marriage at Tisha's and Marcel's marriage at this point and laughs like, "Girl, bye." I feel like that's Melody's energy towards it. Like, girl, if you like it, I love it for you. And there are people, y'all, who they've been married and the experience was just so trash that they're like, never again. And then there are people who look at those single people and think, haha, I'm married, you're not, I'm happier. When that single person is perhaps way happier than the married folks are. I'm just saying. Now he's still in shock. Mel left him. Oh my God. Did y'all hear Dusty say Martell was acting jealous over Lance? I caught a clip, Miss Black Titanic, of Martell saying to her, your man is here. Don't be telling him about my stuff. Like something to that effect. I was watching a content creator last night. Shout out to Kicking It with Courtney. And that clip was played, and I was like, "Whoa, hold up, wait a minute. Why would Destiny be telling Lance about Martell's privates?" I don't even be joking with my male friends like that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I've never been intimate with you. I have no reason to be talking about your privates or talking to other people about your privates. Or even I would dare one of my male friends to make a joke about my daughter being theirs. Friendship ended. Because you're not gonna have anybody trying to speculate whether or not that could possibly be true. Friendship done. So Martell's and Destiny's friendship, quote unquote, is weird. Him needing a scene so badly that she asked him to come move one box one box and she had another guy there. Weird. Her caping for him, knowing he was convicted and knowing why he was convicted. Weird. Oh, will you, Miss Black Titanic? Well, I'll be tuned into for the updates. As a woman, I could never knowingly participate in potentially causing harm to another woman. She and all of the females on that cast, yeah, they are nasty work. And they don't understand why people don't like them. This is why. So all of you women just sat in that scene and none of you had anything to say? Y'all had nothing to say? That was crazy to me last night. Marshawn literally was the only person that checked Martel, that called him out. Wow. Right. None of them stood up against him. None of them said, yo, you know what you were convicted for. None of them said, you are a liar. None of them said, we have lost respect for you. Only Marsaw. That's telling to me. Now, this is not going to make me a fan of Marsaw, but I can respect somebody who can stand their ground and be like, I don't believe you, and I got no respect for you. And I've said that too about other content creators, that I know content creators who don't see it for melody. But when it comes to Melody and Martell, they are team Melody. When they do their content and it's about Melody and Martell, they are dragging Martell for filth in support of Melody. And that's why I rock with those content creators, because I don't care about the silly beefs when it comes to Melody and the other women. That's trivial. That's a blip in the grand scheme of things. What she's going through with Martell, that's real life. We know Melody and them other women, she's not friends with them. Those aren't her friends. Those are her co-workers. And she don't gotta like her coworkers. She don't gotta hang out with her coworkers if she doesn't want to. But what she's going through with Martell, that's real. In real life, that is her ex-husband. In real life, that is the father to her children. In real life, he has her in court. And I say that because he's the one that started that whole custody case. So that's why I always say he has her in court, dragged her through family court, threatened her with revenge P, is convicted and is still harassing her. How do you get convicted for harassing communications, but you're still out here harassing her through communication mediums and through third parties like a Tasha K and Ariane, and in my opinion, a Destiny? That's real life. So when content creators who don't like her when it comes to the show can erase all of that and focus on Martell's nasty work in real life, I'm a rock with them. Y'all might see me over there in their chat. Mind your business. Because the truth is, if you see Martell for who he is and you can call that out and separate that from how you feel about her on the show, even if I feel like you're wrong about how you feel about her on the show, but you can still call Martell out, I'm a rock with you. It's the crazy people who don't like her because of the show, and because they don't like her because of the show, they're Team Martell. Them crazy people, yeah, I can't rock with y'all. Y'all are dumb. Hey, Miss Cece. Mel has security because she knows how dangerous Hotel is. She knows things she's not saying about him. I think he has a low IQ. That's why she ran the business. And you know what, Golden? In, I think, 2 seasons ago, I think it was 2 seasons ago, Melody and Martell, they met up at, I think, a smoothie bar or something. This was after the Destin trip, right? Where Martell asked her in this scene for full custody of the kids. I don't remember what season it was, but she was in this blonde wig in like this light blue top, and he asked her for full custody of the kids. And in the conversation, he said that they almost didn't make their first wedding anniversary. And Melody's response to that was, yeah, we almost didn't make our first year wedding anniversary because of how you would talk to me. I'm gonna find that clip and I'm going to post it. But I say that to say, in agreement with you, Golden Toast, that there are things that Melody hasn't said. She's thrown little breadcrumbs here and there, like in that scene when she admitted that the way he would talk to her during their first year of marriage made her contemplate divorcing him before they even got to the 1 year mark. And she's talked about it in interviews where she's like, there were red flags early on that I ignored. When I think about how he would deal with other people when he had conflicts with them and stuff like that, she said this. So I agree with you, Golden. There are things that Melody has not shared. Even in her song, Nobody's Business, she said, hiding his bad parts. Hiding his bad parts gave her scars. So she has more of a story to tell, but she's still protecting him. And I feel like it's because at the end of the day, that is the father of her children. And them Eminem kids, they love their dad. I'm sure she could truly paint him as the monster that he is, but she's chosen not to. All she wants is for him to leave her alone, and he can't even do that. I don't believe Martel wanted to get in an argument with Mel at the event. I believe he wanted the opportunity to beg her to be on his side and give him grace as he can continue to harass her. You think so? I don't know. I feel like I know Melody wasn't gonna show up, but if she did, I feel like it would have gone left. Indigo Girl says, good morning. Kimmy being a nurse knows the seriousness of the no contact order. Aren't nurses supposed to report on the violations of such as part of their function? I'm not sure, but I do feel like in this moment, Kimmy should have told Destiny, there's a no contact order in place with Martell and Melody. I'm not going to be the one to invite Melody to this event. No, thank you. I think at the least, that's what she should have done. The head of Whole Network is a Black woman. It's absolutely sad that nothing is being done to get rid of this man off the show. Fingers crossed it's his last season. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Because if not for Destiny, who would he be filming with? At this point, Marshaw is the lead. Ooh, there's some comments. Wait. Oh my God, y'all. I'm sorry. I am behind. I think I saw Glam. The Glam respond? Because unfortunately, y'all, I gotta go. Okay, I thought Glam had responded with her Cash App. But I'm gonna repost the flyer to my community wall, y'all, so y'all can go and support Glam and her foundation. Um, okay. Finally, someone deals with facts about Martell's charges. And shout out to Marsaw. I'm disappointed in Chris. He covers for Martell. I don't know what it is with the Fletchers. I was rooting for them. In the words of Tyra Banks, we were all rooting for you, but mm, they're disappointing. They're absolutely disappointing. He said, don't give Marcel too much credit. He's self serving. He knows Martel knows his business. That Mel is the winning team and he wants top man spot. He was down with bullying Mel this whole time. But you know what I'm happy for? I'm happy Mel wasn't there. So who can they blame now for trying to ruin our marriage? Who are they going to blame? Because from the start, it was Martel. Season one, it was Martel. You're acting like you don't do it with 20 women. That was Martell. Melody was doing what any wife would do, and that is stand by her man. But she got the blame, and they continued to blame just her for how many seasons now? While they buddied it up with Martell, Mel was left to bear the brunt of the blame. And I never understood that. Martell said more than Melody ever did. But y'all could be cool with Martell and leave Mel out there in the cold. Not that she cared, but it's just how I observed it. So in this moment, they finally said, you've never respected our marriage, period. In the same way he never respected his marriage. Why would you think that somebody who didn't respect his marriage would respect yours? That's the real question. It's the audacity of Hotel to state to Marsaw that they're boys. Right? What about bro code? Sir, ain't no bro code, and there should not be any girl code when you're dealing in wrong and right, black and white. It's no bro code when your bro is doing something illegal. Call it out. And that's what Marsaw did. I want to know too, Love Key. How does she even know what Mel's truths are? Especially since she doesn't even know her own truths. In my opinion, she's an honest person either. She manipulates the truth. And if you're manipulating the truth, you're a liar. If you're lying by omission, you're a liar. If you're leaving out context, you are a liar. The truth is very straightforward. I agree with you. Marsaw is just pivoting his scheme, looking for a better position on the show. But at this point, Marsaw is the male star. At this point, Marsaw is the male star of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Melody is always going to be the queen of the show. There has been no woman that has come into that show and has had the ability to shine as bright as Melody on that show, to captivate the audience, to carry a scene, to walk into the room. And the minute she walks in the room, you know the scene is going to be good. No other woman can do that on the show. And Martell was only able to do that when he had Melody by his side, or when he had a scene with Melody. Marsaw, as a male on the show, he's able to carry a scene. When you see Marsaw in a scene, you know it's gonna be some mess. Not in the best way, but at the least some comic relief. Because is he really saying this foolishness? I said this on another channel. I said here, Marcel is about self-preservation. He sees how unhinged that man is, and he wants to divert that man elsewhere. Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Just because Martel is disgusting doesn't mean that Marcel deserves taps. For this particular thing, him being the only person in that scene to say I don't believe you, and being the only person this entire season to say what the charges were and what they were for, I think he deserves two taps, like, two fingers, and That's it. Yeah, Marshaw definitely moves smarter than Martell, definitely. And I agree with everybody that says Marshaw is playing at an angle and it's working for him. It's working for him. He probably didn't do that for Mel at all. He probably didn't do it for Mel at all. But it was done. It was done. And it was important that it was done for those people who want to act as if Martell didn't do something wrong. It was spelled out on the show by a cast member. Wasn't the harassment communication charge attached to the fact that you threatened your ex-wife with revenge P? Because you got people like Ken who sit on an interview and say, "Man, that was for a text. If you go into my phone or any of our phones, we probably would be arrested for some of the things that we send to our exes." It's not just a text, it's a crime. It was a threat. And so to erase that part of it and to limit it to, oh, it was a text, that's unfair. And so I'm glad that somebody finally on the show attached the two things. The text was the threat. And that is why it became harassing communications, a DV charge in the third degree. Um, I might have to go back to some of Trending's old videos because I kind of stopped. I don't feel like I listened to all of those videos on their case. So I might have to go back and listen to some of those videos that Trending did with those court documents just to kind of refresh my memory a little bit, honestly. Um oh, because I was like, I know I saw Glam. Okay, so Glam just said I can say why. So as I'm ending y'all, because I gotta go on the road. So I feel like this is a perfect way to end. Thanks to everybody that was in the chat. If I didn't get to your comments, I am so sorry. Who did I just see? I see MJ. Hi. Hi Pasino Rules. How are you? Peachy Pecan Blend. Okay. That's a cute name. Let me see if there's anybody else that I missed. Okay. Okay. All right. So where is your thing, Glam? Oh, hi TTG Mom. How are you? Glam, I done lost your okay, here you go. So y'all, um Glam's Glam Rocks, her son was killed last year, early last year, and he was a biker, right, Glam? Hope I'm saying it right. He was a biker. And so Glam has a foundation in honor of her son who passed away, um, where she gives bikes to children in need, as I said earlier. Glam, where is the Cash App that I asked you to drop in here? Where is it? Did you post it? I don't have my other phone to to give the Cash App. Okay, maybe you're out. 'Cause I know it's Sunday, you're probably in church. I'm looking if you probably posted it. All right, if y'all can give me 1 second, I'm gonna go get my other phone so that I can give y'all the Cash App. 1 second, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm back. Thank y'all for waiting. Did y'all hear did y'all hear Martell say he has not had uh a woman in 4 to 5 years? I was like, is Coastal not embarrassed yet? Because at this point, this man loves embarrassing her. And let her tell it that's her man. I was like, girl, that's so embarrassing. Um, okay, so here we are. Okay, okay. Okay, so here we are, y'all. Okay, so Glam is still here. She says, thank you, Yardi, and everyone in the chat. Anything helps. I'm focusing on foster homes. So she's giving us more information in the chat, y'all. So her foundation, it's called Keandre's Bike Foundation, and it's the second annual Bike Muss. It's a bike giveaway. Um, it's on the 14th of December. If y'all are in South Florida and you wanna attend, um, so the 14th of December, and Glam is saying in the chat that anything helps. She's focusing on foster homes, single mothers, and fathers. And she says more information is on her community wall and on her Instagram. So for PayPal, y'all, um, well, I don't know to do the pay if I can say the PayPal and then it works for y'all. But I'll say for Cash App, it's $ Keandre's Bike FDN. So let me spell it out for y'all. It's KYANDRESBIKEFDN. All right. So you can send a Cash App. Any little bit helps so that we can get some of these kids in foster care, a gift for Christmas. Single moms and single dads are probably going through a hard time this year and don't know where the first dollar is going to come from to bring some Christmas cheer to their children. Your donation can help to bring some joy. And this is Glam's second annual bike giveaway. So I'm gonna repost this now to my Instagram story. So if y'all wanna go to my Instagram, I'm gonna also screenshot and repost to my community wall, or y'all can just go to Glam Rocks here on YouTube and on Instagram, and y'all can see all the information there. Oh yeah, let me type it in. I'm gonna type the Cash App info in the chat right now, y'all. Um, oop, okay, I'm typing in. Oh, that needs a uppercase. Yeah, I'm on live. Stop saying my name. Okay, y'all. I put the Cash App um in the chat. All right, y'all. So I gotta go now. The Cash App is in the chat. Remember to check out Glam's Instagram and her community wall for more information. Thank you all for tuning in. And I will see y'all later. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will catch y'all in these YouTube streets. Bye.